Oops. That's okay.
Control.
You know, that way I should have been better. It's TV.
I think we got enough of that.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to another edition of On a Couch Talking Sports, or as we call it now, In a Car Talking Sports.
Yes.
As always, I'm Robbie. This is Kyle. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing okay, Robbie. You know, could be a little warmer, but you know what? At least, yeah. We're in like a Canadian heat wave right now, as I like to call it.
It's December. Oh, that's all that needs to be said. It's December. And obviously, as you all know, last week was Thanksgiving, and we hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving holiday out there, wherever and whenever. No, not whenever. Wherever and
okay,
whatever you did, wherever you were, hope it was a fun time.
Whenever. Wherever.
And obviously, this year's Thanksgiving was, that was weird. And obviously, this year's Thanksgiving was a bit different, obviously. And one of the big differences, as kind of talked about before, was no high school football on Thanksgiving Day. That's right. But you know what? We got through it. It was okay. But what we wanted to talk about is, with no high school football games to go to on Thanksgiving Day, we want to actually talk about what we did on Thanksgiving days. How did our Thanksgiving 2020 look with, you know, no high school football, at least?
Yeah, no rivalries this year.
Yeah,
so.
nothing. Nothing at all. So, Kyle, let me start with you. What was Thanksgiving 2020 like in Casa de Kyle?
Well, it was a little different this year. I didn't actually see my entire family. Because, well, everyone lives in their own household, so I figured it'd just be safer if I stayed in mine. Because right now, as you guys don't, whether you guys know or not, I live with roommates, so I just kind of stayed with my roommates, and we just kind of hung out. We did watch a little football, which was a lot of fun, and it was really it was pretty easy going. Honestly, we didn't even cook anything. We just kind of, we just kind of ordered out actually that day, which is the first time I think I've maybe ever done that in any of my Thanksgivings. Because usually, you know, my family will cook, but
right.
You know, like I said, because I didn't have my whole family there. My roommate Ben and I decided, hey, let's order out, and we ordered from this really. I'm gonna throw in actually a quick food review on this one too.
Okay.
This place called Five Horses Tavern. Great place.
Wait, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. You just ignore me over here.
It was cool because this place, Five Horses Tavern. If you ever find yourself in Somerville, Davis Square area, it's a really great place. They got a lot of really kind of more southern inspired style cooking, and their Thanksgiving did not disappoint at all. They had a really great menu. Ben was a big fan of the turkey cobbler sandwich, and I absolutely love their turkey dinner. They also had cornbread flavored stuffing, which was just mind-blowing amazing. But yeah, if you really like, cornbread's actually one of their specialties anyway. So if you go there, even just for like the regular menu, definitely check out the cornbread. They give it to you. Well, I mean, you know, when it was a restaurant, when it was more of like a dine-in spot, which you can eat outside, you know, if it's warm enough, obviously. But they give you like a cornbread in a skillet, which is really, really nice. And also their mac and cheese is great, and their fried chicken. Sometimes you can even get fried chicken and waffles actually for brunch, which is so
mind blown.
yeah, definitely check that place out. Their Thanksgiving did not disappoint at all. And that's about it. I just kind of watched a couple football games. I know one of them got canceled, and I'm sure Robbie will probably talk about that one a little more.
Well, no, go ahead. Tell us like what you remember from. That's kind of what I wanted to get at here. Talk about what you remember from watching professional football on Thanksgiving, because that means you did sort of get your football fix in at least, so that was good. So talk about talk about what you remember from those games that you watched a little bit.
Well, for those games, I kind of dipped in and out a little bit. I may have also been playing a little bit of Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda. Great game, by the way. I'll have to review that another time. So I remember. So remind me the games that I feel bad.
It was no problem. It was Detroit versus Houston and Dallas versus Washington. Excuse me, Dallas versus Washington.
Okay, from what I remember, I feel like I was in tune a little more with Dallas and Washington because it was a little later in the afternoon, I believe. Because the first game was kind of more of like an early afternoon. 12:30. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't really see much of that game, to be honest, but the second game I saw some pretty solid plays. I feel like I saw a really good running play. Like I think it was like I think Washington did it, I believe. I forget the player's name. I don't know any of the players' names, unfortunately.
That's okay.
It's too bad because they
don't know your name either.
Yeah, there you go. We're mutual on that. It was just I remember just seeing like a really good, like it was like a pass and run, and the guy just got like so many yards. I forget. I feel bad. I wish I had a little more specifics on it, but I feel like Washington won that game, right?
Yes. You're correct. They won handily too.
Yeah,
like 40-17 or something like that.
Yeah, they had a lot of good plays. I feel like just like a lot of good running plays and passing plays there. Yep. And I also defeated a boss also as well when I was playing Breath of the Wild. I defeated the first one.
Oh, congratulations.
In the water area.
Because you are a boss.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. But anyways, so that was my Thanksgiving.
Nice.
How was yours?
Good. Good. No, it was fun. Let's see. I basically, was at home with my family. I Zoomed with some other family like in the afternoon and kind of hung out, went for a little bit of a walk when it stopped raining, and I watched some football as well. I watched a bit of the Houston Detroit game, which was good. And then my family and I had our sort of Thanksgiving favorites, which was a lot of fun, and it was just a very, sort of low-key, very relaxing Thanksgiving, and, we had a nice time. Like I said, it was weird, definitely, because for the first time since, I want to say 1998, it was like the first time that I, didn't go to a Thanksgiving high school football game, which was pretty wild.
You go to them way more than I do.
I've been going to them since I was 8 years old, folks. I mean, just a quick history lesson. 1998 was the first year that I went, and I've gone every year since up until this year, and hopefully get to go again when it comes back in 2021. But no, it was overall a good day. Like I said, watched some of the old Thanksgiving broadcasts on TV to sort of get my high school fix, and then watch some of the professional games, and just kind of hung out. And like I said, overall had a very nice holiday, good food and good company. So that was my Thanksgiving in a nutshell. So like I said, we hope everybody out there had a good and safe Thanksgiving. Again, whatever you decided to do, wherever you decided to go, or if you stayed home, which we hope most of you did, just hope it was a good one, despite being definitely a different Thanksgiving here in 2020, much like anything else here in the year 2020. So we're now going to move on to sort of the end portion of our episode, and that is our sort of final segments here. I'm actually going to go first this week with my Robbie's favorite fantasy football recap, because this weekend, folks, I kid you not, all 3 teams in the Robbie's favorite fantasy football recap won this week.
Whoa!
When was the last time that happened? I don't know if it has happened this season.
Right.
I mean, it has been quite the some weekends, teams lose. My fantasy team has been struggling a lot, but no, they all won this weekend. BC beat Louisville in their in their home finale, their last home game in this 2020 season. It was kind of bittersweet for me seeing that, because this marked the first fall since the late 90s. It may have been like 98, 99 for that as well, that I have not been to a BC football home game at all during a season. So it's kind of very weird feeling, but again, hopefully they'll be back and better than ever in 2021. But yeah, BC beat Louisville. They go 6-4 on the year, and they will close out their regular season, I should say, with a game against Virginia on the road this coming Saturday. The Patriots pulled up a very surprising victory on Sunday, beating the Arizona Cardinals. I don't think a lot of people, myself included, thought they were going to win that game, but they did. They won on a Nick Folk game-winning field goal in the final seconds to win 20-17.
Very nice.
So the Pats have now surprisingly won 3 out of 4, and now currently stand at 5-6 on the year, and now will be hitting the road to go to the West Coast for 2 weeks in a row, as they will play the Chargers this Sunday, followed by a Thursday night game against the LA Rams. So, and then my fantasy team. So it's interesting because my fantasy team is technically still going, but we're gonna win because we've sort of wrapped up victory. But because of some postponements due to COVID, one of the games this weekend got pushed all the way to today, this afternoon. So
I heard about that.
Going on Pittsburgh and Baltimore, and I have one player for Pittsburgh. Like I said, I've wrapped up victory anyway, so I can say with 100% factualness that my team did win this week. So I was very happy about that.
There you go.
It bounced back from a loss last week, so I only got a couple more weeks left in the regular season, so I'm hoping to end on a high note, maybe sneak into the playoffs, but if nothing else, end with some positive momentum there. So
that's good.
Yeah,
very lucky.
Great week.
Luck, huh?
Great week. Yeah, great week for me on the football front. So very happy about that. So now I will toss it over to my buddy Kyle over here, my right-hand man, for his weekly edition of the Sue's Reviews. Kyle, take it away.
All right, so I wanted to do a bit of a small series because I don't know if you guys have heard, but they are re-releasing Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time for PlayStation 4 and 5 and Xbox One and whatever the new system's called. I can't even keep track of all these Xbox names, seriously. But they're going to re-release that game series, so I figured why not just go over the Sands of Time trilogy, and maybe I can even throw in some more Prince of Persia reviews. So I wanted to go with the first Sands of Time game, which is actually technically the second 3D Prince of Persia game. But what happened was in 2003, the Prince of Persia series, it's like an old school kind of platforming series. It starts off, you're in like the original games. I remember you were in like a dungeon, and you had to get out, and you had to save this princess who was captured by this like evil Jafar type kind of villain. He literally looks like Jafar.
Deep reference.
Oh, thank you.
Throwback.
Yeah. What's really cool about these games, it's like it really kind of tests like your platforming, your timing, and even like, it tests your combat skills. And they brought that over with Sands of Time. They brought all those over, but they added some really unique elements that actually I feel like not only push the genre forward, but it just like literally, it inspired so many games afterwards that, you know, from that series. And it even inspired the Assassin's Creed series, which a lot of people nowadays, you know, play. It's like a big free roaming series which takes place in different time periods. But so Sands of Time was great because it's it's kind of like a level, or like an area to area progression. It's not really it's not technically a free roam game, but it's really nice because they kind of like, they really revamped the platforming. And you can do these kind of cool like pole swings, and you can like jump from like wall to wall. You can do wall runs and stuff like that. Yeah. And it really added a lot. Like, this prince was super
Don't mind me over
acrobatic.
here.
You're just adding to the play. I like it.
Yeah, really.
And it really is a fun game. It's pretty challenging, but one of the things you can do that you could not do in the other Prince of Persia games, and you know, I will say a thing that you do in this game, like in the old games, is that you fall a lot and you die a lot. It's not an easy game, but yeah, that's one thing that definitely carried over. But one of the cool things that you can do is you can actually turn back time. So if you actually maybe like jumped wrong, or maybe you died in battle from like these evil enemies, then you can turn back time and you can kind of redo the event, and you can, you know, if you kind of like, exactly, yeah, kind of like, exactly, it's like almost like kind of just reversing a little bit, you know. So it's cool. It gives you kind of like a couple. It gives you like another shot at kind of like trying it again. Maybe you can kind of see what you did, what your mistake was, and it's really cool. And it's just a very, the story is pretty simple. You know, the prince is actually, this time in the first Sands of Time game, he's actually working with the main girl. Instead of her getting captured in the original games, he actually works with her, and she becomes actually your partner, and she helps you actually not only with big like fights with enemies, like she has like a bow and arrow that can take out other enemies, but she can also help you with puzzles, which is really cool. And there are some really cool puzzles there, and you know, they're not like super difficult, but they're pretty fun to solve. Sometimes you'll get into like these rooms where you have to like flick these switches in a certain way, or turn like these planets or something like that. Nice. But it's a really fun game. It's a nice, easy game to get into. It holds up very well, I think, even though the game came out in 2003. I highly recommend it. It's only one player, so don't expect like a co-op run for any of these. Actually, all these games are pretty much one player, so don't expect any co-op or online multiplayer or anything like that. But it came out for the original PS2, GameCube, and Xbox. But this is the game they're actually going to remake, and they're going to revamp the platforming and combat even more this time around. So, and of course the graphics are going to get a huge overhaul. They're going to redo everything graphic-wise, and yeah, if you're just kind of like looking for a really fun experience, really solid, like a really fun story, you know, nothing groundbreaking, but it's, yeah. And if you like the acrobatic style, you can even jump over enemies and do some like really, you can make the prince move even really like quicker. He has like this quick dash move that can get all the enemies, and it's a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. If you're looking for just a really fun time, then definitely pick up Sands of Time.
Nice. Thanks, Kyle, for that. Another enjoyable segment, as always. So, before we go, there is one more thing that we have to address. Ooh. Obviously, in the season of thanks and giving, we want to send a big on a couch talking sports thank you out to my mom, because, hold on a second. We got new merch! Woo! Yeah, baby!
Always CTS merch!
Yeah. Now, you might know, I don't know if you can really see it
it's hard to see. Hold on.
Well.
I think my wheel's like blocking the way. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can like...
But basically...
Here we go.
So basically the shirt, it's kind of like the old On a Couch shirts where it has our faces on it with, you know, masks, obviously staying healthy. But... it is actually, the title on the shirt is In a Car Talking Sports, or our rebranded show right now. You know, obviously we haven't been able to be on the couch, but we've been in a car and we've been talking sports. So,
there you go.
Like I said, big shout out to my mom for putting that together, kind of surprising us with those shirts.
It's very cool. I love this picture. One of our classic selfies right here.
Very classic, and yeah, very cool. So, like I said, thank you, Mom, for that, and we will definitely be wearing these with pride going forward. So, that's going to do it for another edition of On a Couch Talking Sports. As always, thank you for joining us. We will see you next time. As always, he's Kyle. I'm Robbie. And like I said, we'll see you next time here on a Couch / in a Car Talking Sports. Bye, everybody.